Good afternoon and welcome back to Susie's Cozy Corner. We are working on the key tracking book Nook, and similar to my previous video, we are going to be finishing up the staircase. I am currently putting pieces H16 to H5, and we are literally building a staircase, except we're using smaller pieces. I put a dab of B7000 glue right into that little connector piece. I'm going to snap this on, and I'm going to repeat this a number of times, and I'm going to pause this video while I do this. If you want to see exactly how I did it, please refer to my previous video, but essentially you were just getting these connected together, and then that's one step. So that's the way it looks, and then the next one goes up. This is really cute, a little bit closer detail. You can see that there are footsteps walking up these stairs. So I will be right back and we will continue with the next step after the stairs. Okay, so I've got the staircase together and I just want to show you, and hopefully you can see this detail. So you can see that I've got the feet going up as if somebody is walking up the staircase. So orientation of pieces, I've said this a lot of times and I'm going to just probably keep saying it because it's what always gets me, is just take your time. Make sure that when you're putting this together, you're like, okay, I've got my footprints going up. The sides that have the little tabs on them are facing in the right direction. So there's different indicators that will show you that you're doing this correctly. And then, you just refer back to your instructions. So this is what the staircase piece looks like finalized. And then similarly to this piece, we're going to go ahead and add some railings. And that is going to be the first piece, which is a fairly large piece, is going to be H21. And we are first going to put the grandfather clock on and some picture frames. So I'm going to take H21, pop that piece out, and we are going to be working on this side. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the grandfather clock that we put together in a previous step. I'm going to actually use some Beacon 3-in-1 glue for this. Again, it doesn't say to glue the grandfather clock. I've just learned that pieces like this are best with a little bit of glue. It just looks a little bit cleaner, I think. It stays. You don't have to worry about it. So, and this is not a moving piece, so you don't have to worry about glue. Some kits come with gears and pieces that are intended to move, so I do recommend you don't glue anything until you are very secure in the knowledge that the piece itself is safe to glue down. Again, these are all lessons I've learned. So there's the first piece, and then we are going to pop out the two picture frames, which are going to be F21 and F22. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my F board. And these do need to be glued down because there are no tabs or anything for it to stick to. I'm going to go ahead and use a little B7000 glue. The reason I'm doing that is because these are very thin and the B7000 glue has a finer tip. You can put the Beacon 3-in-1 glue into a different bottle with a precision glue tip. They sell them in any craft store. You can also get them from Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Amazon. But B7000 glue works fine. I tend to like to use my tweezers. And you can also see that the frame on the wall matches the frame itself. So this is just a way to add a little bit of dimension and make it more three-dimensional versus 2 dimensions or 1 dimension, whatever it is. I'm sure somebody will correct me, and that's fine. That actually looks like an eye, which is kind of eerie. So we are actually framing eyeballs. Don't ask me why. It might be part of the mystery. There we go. And then we're going to flip this over, and we are going to carefully take the staircase that we put together, and it is going to slot right into, you can see that there's some areas, and it is going to slot right into there. I'm going to carefully work on that, and I will be right back to show you the finished piece. And that's what the connected piece looks like. I did use my flat tweezers, and what I did was I lined all of these up so you can see how the tabs fit in right in here, lined them all up, and then I just gently took these and pushed down so that they would click into place. I have learned using things like my tweezers requires a little less force. Okay, now we are going to take B25, and we have several parts that we're going to be using, and I will be right back. I'm going to pop all those out. You don't need to see that, excuse me. I'll be right back, and we'll put together that piece. We are moving right along with the key tracking book Nook. I'm super excited about this one. It's brand new to me. I've never put this kit together. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. I think it's a great quality kit with lots of details, and super excited to see what it's going to look like when we are all done. So this is D1, the board. B25 is actually supposed to be the broken flower vase, and there are this piece, and then there are 3 glass shards. You can see there's some more footsteps. There's going to be a knife and a magnifying glass, and I'm going to show you how I am going to customize this just a little bit. I wish I had, and I may come up with an idea of how I could do it. I wish I had some little crime scene numbers, the little yellow ones, so that they could also stick up. Okay, so I've got everything glued down exactly where it showed on the board, as I showed you a little bit ago. Now, this is just nail polish, and I learned this trick on maybe the 4th kit that I did. And you can see that it looks like there's like dried blood on the knife. So what I'm going to do, and it does not need to be perfect, I try to make it look like, and I'm going to go cook supper after I get this done. And then this way, it makes it look just a little bit more realistic. Kind of like, let that, see how that kind of now looks like there's actual blood on the knife? A little eerie, isn't it? I think, to train mystery, and it was on there. And then this, I'm going to take this metallic pen marker, and I'm just going to dab a little tiny bit onto my magnifying glass. I'll let this dry as well, and I'll show you what it looks like in just a second. This is just to simulate what it would look like if there was actual glass in this versus just wood, but it kind of gives it, as well as, I think you can see that little bit of a shimmer. So I've just personalized this kit, not a lot, but put my own little kind of stamp on it, made it a little bit more interesting. Like I said, I really need to figure out how I can come up with those little evidence numbers so that those are also 3-dimensional. So we're going to take a break. I got to go cook supper for my family. We are having birria tacos. If I'm mispronouncing that, I apologize. But I've got some manchego cheese and the meat, and then we're going to probably just keep it simple with some salsa and things like that. And then I've got some taco shells that are new. They have a hint of lime, and I love the hint of lime tortilla chips. So I will let you know how it turns out, and then we will be back in a little bit, and then we're going to put the staircase onto this piece along with the fireplace and the lamp that we built, and it looks like we're going to almost finish the downstairs tonight. So as long as I can get back here. And you'll tell by the shirt that I'm wearing if it was the same night, but I hope to do so. So thanks for watching, and I will see you all in just a little bit.